One of the miracles of the Torah is how this document stays relevant generation after generation. How the prophecies keep happening in this cyclical manner. How the codes that are embedded in the letters, in the names, in the places, in the people's names are still popping up into everyday life around us. Is it all just a proto-active expression of our mind creating a reality? Or is it a reality that pre-existed all reality, that feeds life force through its words into the life of the people who observe and live the Torah and speak it and share it and give it to others? You know, if you took the whole human history, 6,000 years, give or take, the human history of recorded human interaction with God, of speech interaction with the deity, from Adam. Before Adam, the Kabbalah holds there were other pre-Adamic races. So no, we're not going to have that argument with some anthropologists from 200 years ago. But the beginning of the relationship between God and man at a interactive, intimate level began with Adam. And that 6,000 year period, imagine it's all one long degree in college. You know, a lot of people stretch out college a little bit, but you know, let's stretch out college of the human race, where we begin knowing very little, and hopefully we end knowing enough to be useful to ourselves, our societies, our families, our children, our students, etc. Now, in that classroom, in that university degree called human existence, you know, there's places where you get tested, and then you get your score, and then you learn from your score. You learn by your mistakes and where you missed and where you did well. And you guide yourself through your educational process. Humanity's been doing that as well. But what we see is that a miracle is that by the Jewish people, we have this book that we keep going back to, and every generation there's new books talking about the old one book, and all the previous generations all wrote about this book called the 5 Books of Moses. And every generation comments on it. And then there's comments on the commentators, and so on and so forth, all the way down the generations. And so not only is the book being renewed by its infamous, divine, eternal, unspeakably awesome God who wrote it once, and it's still getting written every day, because the life force goes from the infinite to the finite through the letters of Torah, through the ideas, through the images, through the sounds, through the codes, etc., through its music. But it's coming into us, and then we're renewing it and reprocessing it and understanding it according to each generation. And when that happens, the Torah is constantly new to every set of eyes that is willing to be opened. And so when we talk about the Torah Sheba'al Peh, the oral Torah, the Torah that's given over between father and son and student and teacher and grandfather and grandson and mother and daughter and mother and son and mother and student, all these relationships are part of the oral Torah, because we're sharing what we received through our filter, and then we're giving it back over. And that is the life of the nation that is dedicated to the restoration of humanity, the crowning of mankind, the transformation of the human race into something that we can all be proud to be part of. Do you ever go down and join a club that you weren't proud of to be a member of? No. No one wants to be a member of a gang unless you're a gang member and you have a gang member's agenda. And no one wants to be a member of a hoity-toity, racist country club that doesn't want anybody except people that are exactly like them. But the club of the service, the club that's called learning of the Torah, this includes the broadest, most expansive, compassionate agenda that there can be. For men, women, and children, for every race, for every creed, for every philosophy, there is a place in the Torah. Even the philosophies against the Torah actually have to exist on some truth in order to argue against the presence of God, the providence of his information system. Because we live in a network of souls, and we're communicating to each other all the time, whether we know it or not. Whether it's between people like us or people that are against us. If there's a relationship, there's a communication. And if there's a communication, it's happening on a psychic level and on a conscious level as well. So let's join the miracle. Let's join the miracle of this system of education. And you will get the best degree. You will get your PhD in the end. It might take 30 years, 40 years, that's okay. But when you become a doctor of the Torah, when you become a master, and I'm speaking as a student, believe me, and I've been at it 35 years, and I feel like today is a new day. Today I'm just beginning again, and again, and again. And you remember the first day of college. It was pretty exciting to walk into that university, the hallowed halls of education. But now we're walking into another level of hallowed halls of human education. Join us in the Torah. Join us if you're a Jew or a non-Jew, because the non-Jews have access to all the wisdom, nowadays especially, and through the Torah teachers. Once the barriers between the nations are broken, then we have to share. We have to give over the light in order to transform this 6,000-year experiment in education of a race that began at a very low level. And we have the ability to reach to the absolutely highest level. And that is our Holy Torah as the guide that will take us there, and the one who enlivens us and it, and everything that you see and know has a spark of that life force. When you see the oneness, you will also begin to understand evil. Because in the Kabbalah, there is an equal and equivalent kingship of holiness, and there is a kingship of unholiness. And it is prophecy that they will have the upper hand in the end of days. And it is our job to attach ourselves through prayer and learning to the kingship of holiness. And by doing so, we will defeat the kingship of evil that is so apparent globally in our lives this day. Join us, be with us, pray with us. Wherever you are, every moment is a moment that you can connect to the infinite creative being of the universe.